This is a fast and basic overview of the proposal generator system, just utilizing screen capture video. Start here with the conceptual diagram. The whole point is to capture discovery meeting call information. Show you the form in a second that we can use for that. The data is placed first into a staging table and ultimately sent into an AI assisted workflow, divided into specific buckets of work so that each AI assistant does just a piece of the work. There's lots of benefits to dividing labor that way. They self-score as well. Ultimately, all of the information right from the form through to this processed information through to the self-scoring is delivered to the quality control assistant, excuse me, who, based on the rules set here, provides a quality overview. If it's a pass, according to the rule set, then a number of options are available, including the emails automatically sent to the client, or the email with the document with the proposal is sent only to the sales rep, or in actual fact, there's a third option whereby the sales rep is notified via a messaging system, example Slack or Telegram, etc., that the document is waiting their attention in the system. And of course, if it fails the QC, then it's not sent, but in fact, a message is sent to the sales rep indicating the failure has occurred, pointing out why, and also suggesting repairs that the sales rep can then make to the document before making a second version of it. If we look at parts of the system in play, what we've got here is the tool Smart Suite, very similar to Airtable. It plays a number of roles in the system. At heart, this is a relational database, if you're not familiar with it, very similar to Airtable. It's playing a role here of staging, of data management, and ultimately record keeping. There's a number of ways to look at the data. I'll come back to that in a second, but it's laid out in this familiar table form at its heart. But there are, in fact, easier ways to look at the data. Per the diagram you just saw, it starts with a form. This is a web-based form. We can use many different types of form. We can use type form, fill-out form, Google form. This happens to be Smart Suite's embedded form. No matter what form we may use, it would look something. This is the kind of information we need to capture. It's interesting to point out that some information is not processed by the AI agents at all. AI is a probabilistic tool, and some things you want absolutely definite. So things like titles and so on, we have left out of the AI processing. Then this set of information is processed by the system. And ultimately, things like price and so on are not processed by the system, again, because we want absolutes. If we come back to the record keeping, so data is dispatched out per the form to the machine, which processes it. I'll show you that in a moment. And then it comes back in self-scored. So the processed information comes back in. Let's have another look at, there's different ways to look at data in Smart Suite. This might be a little bit easier to consume. So the logistical data that goes out from the form looks a bit like this. Oh, including, by the way, that you can set email to client, email myself only, no email, for example. Then the intro information that you would like sent in the document, your problem statement, the assumptions you're making, the business case reasoning, your outline of solution data, and your pricing data. Ultimately, the AI does its work. We'll see how in a moment, and sends back, this is all dummy data, of course. So that's the controller's view of the situation, self-score by assistant A, assistant B, assistant C, self-scoring themselves. And here we can see the actual delivery of data, again, dummy data, by the AI assistants. This is also useful because should you need to make any adjustments to your document, then you can simply come here and edit these text boxes and then process the document again, and you've created you've intervened, you've quality controlled over the top of even what the AI assistants have done. What I'll do now is, just before showing you a document, switch to the machine, the so-called machine behind this. Now we're in the environment make.com. This is a workflow integrator tool. It is very similar to Zapier or N8N, if you're familiar with those. It's a very versatile tool, one I enjoy a lot. Yeah, we've got the form arriving, the data from your discovery meeting arriving from Smart Suite. A lot of these little modules I won't bother with. I'm just going to highlight that here's the Assistant A. Assistant A is dealing with the problem statement, the assumptions, and the constraints, along with the scope. And it outputs a self-score and the reason, along with its version of scope, etc. Data moves down the stream. The next assistant is dealing with the solution and the business case and self-scoring. The next assistant is dealing with milestones and timelines and self-scoring. And as mentioned before, the entire data packet is sent over here. Those previous ones were Anthropic Claude, and here I've chosen to use Gemini. But we can use any LLM for which you have an API connection. They will all do basically the same work. This one, I won't bother to go into the prompts and look at those, but this one is doing the quality control, and ultimately then this information is sent back into Smart Suite with the scoring information. And now, depending on decisions are made here, if it was a fail, then this information is sent to the business representative via email that it's failed. We could again use Slack or whatever. If the business rep has indicated no email required, but then in this case via Telegram, they'll get an indication that the document is ready, the score that it's received, its title, etc., ready to go. And if in fact email to client or email to self is required as a setting, then off it goes to the client or off it goes straight to the business rep. Of course, if it goes to the client, the business representative can be CC'd or be CC'd. So that's the workings behind the scenes. Finally, let's have a look at a dummy document. As we can see here, this is the PDF proposal, has been processed and dropped into the system. This can be downloaded immediately. Of course, this is in my company's logo. And we construct a template. This works perfectly